Today we are going to do a video of the stupidest of the stupid, but also the funniest of the funniest. You're going to want to wait to the end of this game because this gets hilarious. So, we start off the game. Before we even start off, the first move was e4, we could see that, but that's either way, it's a book move, but that's just leading to all the bad stuff, right? It's book move, but it's 6 blunders to 5 blunders, 18 misses to 14 misses. This is going to be a terrible game. Look at this. Look at this game rating. Mistake and blunder to blunder and blunder. What happened there? So this is going to be really funny. Let's start the review. E4, E6. So far, nothing bad. D4, C5. So far, nothing bad. And takes. Now, why in the world would you do that? Now, obviously, Black has a better position than they started off with. They've got a nice developed. If it was Black's move, then they have the move D5, and they get a nice center. They have a developed bishop, right? So I don't know why you took. Then we have best, and now this. I get that Martin is stupid, and I get that maybe he knows that the other Martin is stupid. But why are you going for a scholar's mate? Getting your queen out is never good in the opening. And why I wouldn't be surprised though if Martin falls for the scholar's mate. But he doesn't. The madness will continue. As you can see on the side, it is very, very colorful, mostly red. You have one great move over there, but it's mostly red, orange, stuff like that. And we have this. Why? What is the point? What is the point? Like let's look at the follow up here. It's bishop takes and queen moves. As you can see, there is nothing else wrong with that move other than the pawn is taken. You get tempo on the queen, but why push g5? What in the world is the point of that? Where? What? Why? I don't understand. So, I guess what Martin White saw, the Martin that's playing white, is that if he takes with the knight, he'll get checkmated. So he's like, I don't see my bishop. There's no bishop on c1 that could also take the pawn. So I have to defend the f pawn so that next move I could take with my knight, because the bishop on c1 doesn't exist. So that's exactly what he did. I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, even when I was starting, what in the world? So we have g4, a good move, followed by more colorful, knight g5. What is the point of that? I don't see it. Okay, you're threatening the pawn, sure, but I don't get it. Followed by a5. The pawn is hanging. It's right there. You left the pawn kind of hanging. I don't understand it. And what does a5 do for you? A6 would have been understandable because it would stop the knight and the queen and the bishop from going to b5. But why a5? It's a waste of a move, and it doesn't help you at all. Right? So obviously, Martin took the g pawn. No, not at all. Why? I don't get it. Okay, so we have a miss. Pawn h4, protecting the already protected knight. And knight h6. Another miss. This game is getting really, really colorful. So, I don't get what's going on right now. I don't know why they're playing like this. But we have... See, why would you do that? What do you gain? You wasted a move. If you were going to castle queenside, you now can't. You want to guard the b pawn? I don't get it. Knight a6. This guy's playing the Sicilian, but in the a file. What in the world? Your knight's active square is on c6, where you're covering two central squares, two important central squares, d4 and e5. But what do you get with that? He's trying to guard the b4 square for the third time. I don't understand. Now, White was thinking, the reason why I didn't play knight b5 before was because I was threatening to take his rook. But now that I'm not threatening to take his rook, let me go there. Let me waste the move. I'm actually curious. I don't know how this game goes, but maybe, just maybe, Martin will move his knight and completely blunder the rook. Let's see. No, a castle, which is also bad because your pawn is all the way over there. What are you gonna do with that? You have an open king. Like you had much better moves, right? You had much better moves. You could have just went. You could have just went there. Your knight was already covering the square. You weren't worrying about anything. Like seriously, right? So then we have this. I'm not sure why. Maybe they just want to kick the bishop, open the... See, if you were going to do that, if you were going to try to open the A file, wouldn't you have kept the rook there? King H8. This is where it gets really stupid. With mistake after mistake after mistake. What is the point of that? Are you preparing yourself for something? Why? First of all, it's a bad move because you're lining up your queen with your king, which, seeing as you're a 250, you could fall for very stupid things, like if White were to go bishop d2 or something like that, and you would completely fall for bishop c3, which completely wins the queen, and you're just wasting a move on that. Your king is still open. You didn't close it. Instead of now being open the G file, now it's open the diagonal file of A1 to H8. No. He's trying to get... No. Does he think the pawn can go... Does he think the queen is pinned because the pawn can go diagonally? I'm honestly confused. What's the move? Queen G7. Before, that would have been a good move. But now, what is the point of it? Why? Randomest moves. I'll bet this game ends from a draw from repetition or 50 moves or something like that. Why did you move both of your rooks to... I'm just gonna move the next. You're wasting move. Like, he's threatening the knight. He's threatening the knight that's already protected, and he's threatening with the bishop, which most people would say, well, better than a knight. That's actually a really great move. Oops. Where was I? Right. So then we have our first blunder for White. Pawn G3. What is wrong with that move? Well, what's wrong with that move is he can push the pawn, and your knight's done. You just completely lost it. But obviously that didn't happen. He moves his queen back. What? You have moved your queen, I believe, 3 or 4 times this game. What are you doing? So finally, this one time, we might get a little bit of satisfaction from a great move. Pawn e5. Finally, a not absolutely horrible move. And actually pretty good. And, another one. A good move. That's really impressive. Now, probably, White will play something... Well, actually, if it's Martin, he'll play something that blunders a piece completely. It doesn't blunder a piece. I guess his plan is to prepare to attack the knight. You're also blocking off your rook. That's already... I don't get it. This is he's supposedly a 250, but he's thinking like a 25. And a miss. Black's thinking right now, well, I'm going to take the pawn on f2, and it's going to be a fork, and I will win the game. First off, there is a queen there you cannot take. Second, there is a king there you cannot take. So the move, another mess, h5. What are you doing with that move? What are you wasting moves? Seriously. Develop your pieces. I was about to say your rooks haven't moved, but they have, but I don't even call that moving. Develop your pieces. Do something. Seriously. What does that move help? But why? Because now, if black moves his queen, it's a fork. And, oh, I'm guarding that pawn from nothing that was attacking it. I don't get it. An inaccuracy. What do you gain from that move? What do you gain? He just pushes, kicks you out. Seriously. But obviously he didn't do that. He moved his bishop to a bad... Does he think pawns can capture forwards? I'm certain he thinks pawns can capture forwards. Yeah, I think probably. Your queen started there. Queen d1 has probably no purpose whatsoever. I don't even got nothing to say. Knight c5. So what does that help? Oh, that's is that why he went bishop b6 so that he can go knight c5, which are both bad moves? I guess that makes sense. Not at all, but whatever. Another miss. Yeah, you threatening to take his protected knight. He could trade. Finally, a best. Whoa, that's actually pretty cool. Now we have an en passant. Put in the comments below if you don't know what an en passant is. I'll be happy to explain it to you. Right, two bests, en passant, and why? I think that knight has moved 3 times in the place where you could have moved it once, and it would have been good if the other 2 squares would have been helpful for you. None of those squares got you anywhere. And he moves his knight back. He moves back. Why are you moving it back? You want to be threatened by the queen? You want to not be able to move or lose your bishop? What are these people doing with their rooks? I'm sorry, I don't understand it. Okay, let's just go a few moves without having that. If you guys could see, the next part of the game is really, really red with blunder, then miss, then blunder, then miss, then blunder, then miss, then blunder. I don't understand it. I don't know how this game could possibly end in a win because, by the way, this game goes on for 53 moves before ending. So we're not even halfway done yet, and this is already pretty hilarious and very sad. I don't know if you guys, I don't know how you guys could not be crying right now. I know I am. Chess has been disgraced. Okay, let's just go a few moves. What are you doing? What is the point of these moves? Okay, now we have a blunder. The blunder is pawn f5. I don't see why you would play that. I just don't get it. It's not coming to me. What in the world? Like, what? Look what happens. You push, and the knight is done. And then, you're just losing by a lot. White is already winning by 3.8, and somehow they're both Martin. They're also both playing terribly. Look at white side, look at black side. It's insane. But obviously, he doesn't find the blunder, and the game goes back to being drawn. This is so... Where are you going with that rook? You've moved it to g1, now to f1. I don't... It's... e5. Moving that pawn. For what? What's the point? Nothing. Okay. Finally, a best. And the knight moves. And somehow we had a best followed by an excellent. I didn't think you could have that this game. I didn't think that would be even remotely possible. The problem is that now I believe you can go knight e6. Oh, it's black. No, it's white's moves. I'm pretty sure you can go knight e6. Let's see what the computer thinks of that move. It's loading. Give it a second. I'm pretty sure you can just go knight e6 and fork the queen and rook. There's no piece threatening the square. The rook can't move at all, so even if there was no queen there, the rook would still be trapped. Okay, the analysis isn't giving me anything, but we have a complete blunder. A complete blunder. Like, what is this? What is this game? Just completely loses a pawn, tempo, threatens the queen, everything. But obviously, he doesn't take. He just blunders right back. White now has a 7.2 lead. A 7.2 lead. I'm going to assume that the following move is, right, push with a discover check and you win the bishop. But obviously, I played that, right? He played c5. See? Not again. He played c5. Look, c5. No. No. Why? What is the reason? And the king moves back. You're wasting moves. I don't understand it. And back. A threat on the queen, a complete inaccuracy. Do you guys tell me I'm not the only one that sees this? He can just take the queen. What in the world? And obviously, Martin does exactly that. Why? What are you doing? He leaves the queen open again. Just take the queen. You're going to take the queen this time, right? No! He's thinking, well, I can't move my knight to take his queen because then he gets my bishop and he's threatening my... I don't care. You will win a queen. Now, obviously, white moves his queen. No, he blunders it for... Is that three? That is 3 back-to-back blunders. Blundering your queen again, every single move. Now, this time, the knight finally takes the queen. And now, black is up 18 points of material and 3.9 in the evaluation bar, followed by an inaccuracy. Why? What is the point of that move? Okay, finally we have an excellent. I did not think we would get any more of those this game, or any of those at all, but... Takes the bishop. It's a free bishop. Black is still up 5.5. Obviously, he's going to move the rook, right? I guess... Wasn't the... What is the... Okay. Push, defending the knight. It's fine. And now we have another inaccuracy. Why? Why is that an inaccuracy? Okay. Is it just me, or is that rook hanging? I don't know. I'm not threatening enough rooks yet. I need to threaten another one. What do you get with that move? You're winning. You're up 5 points of material. You're up a queen to a bishop. What are you doing? Takes. Finally. He takes the rook. And this time, not only are you wasting a move, you're also making it that your rook is no longer protected, and now it's free. Now it is a free rook. It is now tied up. Rook d7. Why rook d7? I have no clue. I cannot think in the mind of these bots anymore. A blunder. Like we haven't had enough of those this game. What is the point? What is the point of that move? Why are you playing it? I do not see why you are playing that move. But obviously, black doesn't see it either. We have king move, another inaccuracy, another. I'm threatening his queen. Yay! He just blundered. He just blundered his queen completely. What is this? Just take the. Obviously, he takes the queen. No! He just blunders his knight. He blunders his queen again. Now, obviously, he takes. No! He moves his king back. Look at this. Look at the evaluation bar over the past few moves. It's at 3.4 for white. Goes completely to black. Goes completely to white. Goes completely to black. Goes completely to white. And now, finally, we get a take of the queen. Now white is up 9 points of material. And now, finally, they can win, right? Wrong. And now he's going for the pass pawn. Now, see, before, you were fine, right? Like, you move the bishop in front of the pawn can't pass. You set up a fork for yourself. And obviously he played it. King h7. Take the knight with queen, obviously. Oh, he actually played it. I was not expecting that. Knight b3. Now it's forced mate in 2. Obviously, Martin finds it and wins the game. No. Completely losing a bishop. Now it's no longer mate in 2. And yet again, it is. Because he just took. Finally, he finds... Still not. Rook a7. There is now, yet again, mate in 2. And obviously, this time, he finds it. Still not. Still not. But now, he blunders mate in 1. Queen g8 checkmate. Subscribe. That was horrible.